Hi everyone and happy Tuesday. We are on the second part of our planner page. I did say yesterday I'd forgotten to do the chimney. I think we ought to start with the chimney, don't you? So let's have a little think. I'm looking at it, it looks metallic, but I don't really want to do a metal look. You know, we did these items to look a little bit shiny-ish. And we might do a similar thing actually. I don't remember what colour I used for those. Just come in a little bit closer so you can see. Now, which colour? Yes. Ponder. I'm going to use the purple. I'm pretty sure that's what I used for the others. So, a little bit more intense at the bottom here. I'm trying to help you to see. So layer it up a little bit, less as we go up, and then a line at the top and leave a little white bit. It's hard to see, it's quite small, isn't it? Now this one goes around the corner, makes it slightly more complicated but not too much, so get lighter up there. So more defined here, more intense, and then lighter, a little bit in there, and we'll just bring that in a bit. So our shine continues all the way up, so just a tad there, and then here we come across like that. So hopefully we're getting, you know, it's not proper metal, but this bit looks like a tin can. I doubt that's what Johanna intended. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So this one will come in from both sides. Try and get our sort of shine lining up with that, which I haven't done a particularly good job of that. There we go. In here it's going to be dark and shadowy, so we'll just layer that up more to make it dark. There we go. I'm not going to do the smoke. That's going to be left until we do the sky. If we do a sky, I shall think about that later. That's all I'm doing with that. My next, what I fancied doing today was actually leaves and stems, so I'm going to do that to start with. You know, it might be a little bit dull, it's not going to take too long, and now I've fancied doing all the leaves and stems matching, so the same colour as this vine. I figured it might help it to look a little less cluttered with different colours, so bluish green. I'm just going to make a start. So the stems themselves are so narrow that all you can do is put down about a sort of a line of colour. I'm trying to make it quite intense, as you might be able to see, but for the leaves I'm doing it a bit lighter because I'm going to do another colour on top, so they're not going to be just plain. Okay, for this stem, not sure. I'm going to try and do it fairly intense. It's fairly thin, isn't it? It's not as narrow obviously as the one we've just done, but it's still quite thin. And then what I'm going to do is vary the colour of the flowers, but with the stems and leaves all similar colours, they're not going to necessarily be identical. I'm not doing this grass, by the way. I've got to decide about what's going on down here. Yeah, with the leaves and stems being similar colours, I'm hoping it will look a little bit less chaotic. It doesn't always have to be that way. You know, people are very good at doing lots of different colours and it looking neat, but I struggle a little bit. It also saves me having to keep thinking of a million different colours to use, which sometimes I'm happy with and sometimes I'm not. Today, with so much detail, I feel like I just want to keep it a little bit simpler. And of course, if you want to change it up and do lots of different colours, you are absolutely welcome, but you might want to wait and see what I'm doing with the flowers first. But basically they're gonna have to match this sort of green, so I'm probably gonna stick with cold colours, your sort of blues, pinks, purples, that sort of thing. I'm not exactly sure yet, but so they match this sort of bluey green. So if you want to mix up your stem and leaf colour a little bit. Keep to the bluey greens and you should be fine. This grass is tricky, trying to colour around it. Down there, the grass and the stem is drawn in, so I don't know what's in front. I did it as if the grass was in front. Same on this one, I think, where the stem's so thin. Now this is a leaf as well. I'll worry about that in a minute. Can you see? Yeah. So I'm just doing this quite slim stem. I hope the light is okay in here. I've had to shut the blind because the sun is almost on top of the page. It will be by the time I sort of finish. So I thought it would make more sense to shut the blind now. I stopped and had a coffee after finishing the other video, and then the sun had come out in the meantime, come across in the meantime. That's what happens in the mornings in here. One day I'll have a proper studio with proper lighting, but I've never been able to actually figure out exactly how to make it work. You know, I guess, I mean, I probably need all artificial lights coming from several directions so I don't get shadows and things like that, but I can't do that in here. I've got a blackout blind, but it still creeps out. The light still creeps out between the blind and the wall window, you know. These ones growing up from the ground, I might do them the same colour as the grass or a slightly darker colour that I'm going to use in a minute. So I may just leave them for now. There's actually, I was just promoting a Caran d'Ache sale. It's probably finished by now, so it's probably a bit late. But Jackson's Art, I'm an affiliate, so I was sharing my affiliate link for their sale. I'm an affiliate for quite a few companies, but it gets a bit tiresome for me to keep telling you and banging on all the time about it. But it brings in a little bit of income. If you ever, I think these large leaves are to do with this. They look similar to these. So I'm going to colour them with this, but again a little bit lighter so I can use the secondary colour. Yeah, a lot of YouTubers are affiliates, or they call them different names according to different companies, for various companies, many for Amazon, and I think, I can't remember what's called for Amazon, and Castle Arts, you're a collaborator, and things like that, and it just brings in a little bit of supplementary income, you know, because YouTube brings in some, but not many, not much. People don't realise that we only get paid if you watch the adverts. So you know, people, if you're Premium, I can't remember what it's called, it's Prime's Amazon, isn't it? If you're YouTube Premium and so you don't get adverts and you watch a video, then YouTube will get a bit of money still, but if you aren't and you skip the ad, you don't get paid. But I know it can be really tiresome if you're watching a really long video. What I tend to do to support people is I'll maybe watch the first ad, not the second, or if it's a 10 or 15 second advert, then I'll watch it. If it's a 30-minute advert, no. But I have been told that I think you only have to watch the first 30 seconds for the person to get paid, but I don't know if that's true. YouTube don't tend to give that information out very much. So it's a bit tricky. I don't know if you get more if you click through the advert, but I mean, you should only do that if you're genuinely interested in the item. I don't know if you can anyway. On that bow is attaching that key, so it's not part of the green. Try and avoid, whoops, colouring it. I need to sharpen again. It gets so blunt quickly. The problem with the Pablos is, although they're beautiful, they are soft. not as soft as some pencils. I would, you know, what was I using the other day? I was using a Prisma the other day. My goodness, I was sharpening away merrily, but that was okay. It was fun. But if I have a really detailed picture, I'd not use a Prisma, that's for sure. I don't know why, but for this one I've decided to go a little bit darker on the edges. But I'll probably, whoops, go out of the lines. No, don't do that. I'll probably use another colour. Now, I'm just checking I've done all of that side. I have managed to draw all over the page, but we'll pretend I didn't. And we'll do the stems and leaves on this side. There we go. Yeah, I was recording my last video. It was what, 40 minutes. And husband had spent the whole 40 minutes looking something up for me. I'd said, oh, do Duracell do camera remote control batteries, because I have this remote control here, look, which I use to zoom in and out and record and stuff, and the red light's on now because I'm recording, and I change the batteries nearly every week. So I was saying it, and I use Panasonic batteries, and Duracell are usually better. So I said, are they Duracell? And he spent 40 minutes researching it for me. How did it take so long? While I was recording my last video. So anyway, he found some. I put them on my Amazon wish list. But I'll have to get them quite soon anyway. It's really boring, isn't it? These purchases. Anyway. But he's now, it's his day off today. He has Fridays and Mondays off. He's just had his boss's boss, I think, ask him if he can do some work for him. So he's doing it even though it's his day off. Problem is, it'll play on his mind if he doesn't just do it. Oh no, that's the stem of the mushroom. I thought that was that flower stem. Whoopsie. Right, let's find out an eraser. I'm really sorry if you coloured along and made that same mistake that I did. Where's my eraser? No, I can't find it. I'll have to look for it in a minute. Let's do this flower stem instead. Let's start at the top so I don't make that same mistake again. So I was thinking that this was coming down there, but it's actually coming down here, like that. Where is my eraser? It's bugging me now. No, it's not in my pencil case. Odd. Must be rolling around the desk somewhere. It's got a pencil. Oh, how odd. Never mind. I will have to grab my other one. Or it's probably, is it on the floor? Yes, it's on the floor. Oh, of course it's on the floor. Where else would it be? Right, let's give that a little erase. Now you can see that it stained it, and I'm not going to get it all off. But I should do, that's the best I can do really. You don't want to overdo it because you'll just spoil the paper. Now this one, I might treat like these and do them in a different colour. But this one is a flower. So we'll just do this last one. Gosh, it's narrow. There we go. Right, now I'm going to grab a darker green. Where are my greens? Here we go. We have the spruce green or the dark green. Oh, the spruce green is not right. We go for the dark green. The spruce green is a bit too brown, if that makes sense. So here is our dark green. Oops. And we're going to go through all the flowers again. I'm going to start this side this time. And I'm going to put a bit of dark on the leaves. So this is in the centre of the leaf. I've just popped that. There's no leaves here. It's quite I'm just going to put a bit of dark in the middle, like that. I might not do them all the same, but I will on this particular stem. There we go. And then over here, this is quite a bit, what should we do with this one? I think what we'll do is we'll go up from the vein and fade it sort of up like that. Just a bit different. My nose is running. Lovely. Gonna have to stop, sorry. Give you a minute to catch up. Now the ones further up I thought were part of the same plant, so I'm going to do them in the same way. Oops. So starting on this sort of vein, just going up, make sure I fade it off before I get to the next one. It's not an exact science like our florals. It doesn't matter if they're not identical. That isn't what we're trying to achieve. Now I can see quite a bit of white paper through the bluish green that I did already. We have a couple of options. We can leave it like that, which I'm going to do. Or you can go over it with a sort of lighter colour. I would choose a Veronese green or a peacock green and just sort of burnish it a little bit. But I'm just going to do the edges of these. But as I said, I'm not going to worry about that. So the edges like that. On this one, I might go down like that. This one I'm going to go in the centre, I think, and then just fade out from the middle a little bit. This one, just a line down the middle, keep it simple. And the same with this one. Now I'm going to keep this dark pencil in my hand. I'm going to do the grass. I know it's a bit dark for grass, but you know, we're in a magical world. I used to say what colour the grass is. Could be pink. It's not. My brain can't do that. Pink grass. Unless it was a whole pink page, I could cope with that. But not just, you know, everything normal and then pink grass. That would do my head in. I am debating whether to do all the flowers the same colour as each other. Oh, we missed one here. I think I'm just going to use this colour for the leaves. And then the grass, that's just sheer laziness of not wanting to change colour. Up here, look at the tiny leaves. Just block them in as best you can. I'm hardly breathing. Stay in the lines. Makes it hard. I'm rubbish at staying in the lines even if I'm not breathing. Yeah, I mean even if I am breathing. Didn't do that bit. There we go. Again, I didn't change colour because I'm lazy. That bit. And a few leaves there. Right, I think that's probably all. Now we've got some flower centres. We did them yellow on the house. We might do them yellow on here as well, just so that we've got some, so it sort of matches. What yellow? I am pondering. A darker yellow. Yes, let's go for this. This is it's just called yellow, but it's a bit more orangey. It's glitter on the page. Just come from the page behind. Just come through the page. Glitter does, doesn't it? It just goes everywhere. It penetrates through pages. Sure about this one. I think I will do this bit yellow. It's quite fun, isn't it? It's a spiky bit. And then that bit in there. And this bit. Are those leaves or flower? We'll do those as buds. What have we got going on over here? I think I'm going to do those bits yellow. And then this bit. They're quite cute, aren't they? Now, colour of flowers. We're going to go, I think I'm going to start with a periwinkle blue. Yeah, this is a gorgeous colour, periwinkle blue. And we're going to do something a little similar to what we did with the leaves, I've decided. Do all the flowers the same colour and then do bits of embellishment with a darker colour. So we're just going to go lightly over them all with the periwinkle. Reasonably lightly, so you get a fair amount of colour. And then we're going to use a darker colour to add some something. So I hope you're all good today. It's Tuesday. I wonder what you do on Tuesdays. I don't have a sort of weekly routine. The only things that determine what I do really are if it's the weekend and the husband's home. Of course, he's home Friday to Monday. Well, Tuesday really. So he only works Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And so that sort of has some influence. But like Saturdays we do our shopping, Sundays we do our cleaning, and that's it really. Everything else is quite flexible. Trying to go out for a walk every day. It's so sunny now, I'm regretting not already going. It's going to be hot. But anyway, I quite fancy a canal walk. It's going to be really muddy. Even though it's sunny today, it poured with rain yesterday. So I could wear my wellies, I guess. Everyone else will have to get out their walking boot. Don't know, we'll see. And yes, I'd like to go for a walk. We've usually got a reason. There's no reason today. But, you know, we can still get outside. Yeah. But we sometimes see family on weekends, which is nice. But I haven't organised anything apart from Father's Day. And we see my dad. Husband's dad doesn't believe in Father's Day. He doesn't like it. So, doesn't do that. Makes it slightly easier in a way because we don't have to accommodate for 3 fathers. Now it's just 2. Obviously my husband is a father and my father. But this year my sister can't see my dad because she's going to be on holiday. She hadn't sort of noticed the date, it doesn't matter. And so he's going to come to us, which means I can cook something might be easy. I like cooking. The only thing is he's on a sort of low carb diet, so, and I don't know how to cook meat. So So that's going to be interesting, but I might have to ask husband or sons to do something for that. Well, I can't ask husband, it's Father's Day. Boys can do something, I'm sure. I'll have to talk to him about it. But I can do, I thought I could do all sorts of roasted veg. Everybody likes that. Maybe. Actually, my mum doesn't. Oh dear. It's always so tricky. It's always someone, and it's always someone that doesn't like something. I mean, I'm the fussy one normally. But, so I'm quite, it's okay accommodating for other fussy people because I'm so fussy. But but if my sister was coming, it'd be trickier too, because not only her and her family are vegan, which is fine. I can do vegan food. I often do anyway, because I'm lactose intolerant. I don't eat meat. I eat a lot of vegan, but I just realised something I need to buy. So thinking about food and stuff, but it's yeah, it's tricky when you're trying to cook for people who are vegan and people that don't eat carbs, because it's sort of like, well, what do I cook? Especially as my dad and my husband can't eat beans. Actually, my dad can, husband can't. So yeah. Anyway, and I can't eat nuts or dairy, or onion or chili or garlic. But I have got some ideas. I will come up with something. Oh, we've got those little dots down there too. Right, so that is after the first layer, as it were. We're going to grab the violet, give it a sharpen, and enhance all the florals. Quite sharp. There we go. So, violet. Now, I'm actually going to go over those because they're not even in the... I've got double vision. And go around the edge of this one, I think. Just draw it in a bit, make it lighter in the middle. This one I'm going to make darker at the base. This one I'm going to do like I did for the house roof, so make it darker at the bottom of the petals. Just, there we go. This one I think I'll do the sides darker, a bit lighter in the middle. And this one is a separate, it's not the same as that, is it? We'll do it dark at the bottom. We'll do it like those little ones. So fade up there. Darker sort of from there. That one sort of from there. This one from there. This one would do a little bit on the edges where they're touching, and a bit down the middle of there, why not? And then out from the base of these. This one we'll do similar to here, it looks the same, so on the edges a bit in the middle and there. So here, down that line, whoops, down there. So here I think we should go down the middle. And then a bit down on that one where it's tucked behind. That. And the top of the, bottom of these, sorry. sort of try to fade them up a bit. There we go. Over to this side. These ones I'm going to do a darker bit here and then fade towards the edge, and the same on this one, and then just a little bit in the middle, making these back ones just darker like that. Same with this one. So you can do what you like here. I have to follow along exactly what I'm doing. You can just play with different sort of ideas really. It's so simple and quick, but you don't have to do it my way. This one I'm just going to go from the bottom and here and the base, but for this one I'm going to do it like I did the roof, so darker on the bottom there, so the lowest point is sort of the darkest, so here it's here, on this one is there. I don't normally do flowers like that, and it's just a bit different. Here we're going to go around the centre and then from the middle out, which is what I normally do. I'm going to do the same on all of these. Just a bit, yeah, it's just what I always do. It's a bit boring, but it's it just makes this one a bit different to the others. And this one the same, because it's the same flower. I've got some berries to my right. Oops, don't go out of the line. Well, it doesn't matter that much. There's a bit of green missing there. This is the bluish green in there. What should we do with this one? Let's make the tips dark and then fade it off like that. There we go. And then I think I'll make those bases a bit darker. This one looks similar to this one, so I'm going to make the tips dark again on that one. This one I think I'm just going to do a little bit in the base. Maybe a line that goes right up the centre a little bit. So it seems to be developing. There we go, looks okay. We'll do the same with this one, bit of a line. These ones at the back are very small. I might just leave those. And the same with this one, a bit of a line. There we go. I think that's all of them. Yeah. How are we doing for time? Not too bad. We've got the mushrooms to do. I thought we would do them in shades of blue. I thought that would be a different colour to add in, which would work with the colour scheme. Just having, excuse me, having a look at what types of blues we've got. I think we've got a purplish, we've got the ultramarine, the purplish sort of night blue. But I think actually the bluish grey might be a nicer colour. Is that the bluish grey? Yeah, I just like the colour. So what we're going to do, we're going to start over here because these are easier, and just make them a little darker at the bottom. So put some more layers down, layer, 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 then a bit less as you come here, a bit less at the top. Oops, and out the lines. You don't go out the lines if you don't want to. Now the reason I'm only doing one colour for the mushrooms, not two, is because there's only a few of them and we've got the spots on these, so it makes them a little more complicated. what I'd like to try and do here, leave the dots white and try to fade the colour up. It's a little bit more difficult because it's fiddly. I'm just going to do my best, and if you go over the dots by mistake, you can use a white gel pen to whiten them, and you might want to do that anyway, just to make them stand out a little bit more. It's up to you. But they're quite small. I'm just going to go over that bottom area with another layer to just darken it a little bit to make it look like it's fading up. It's quite hard to do that. Now, we have these berries. I'm going to do those before I forget. I really want to do them a bluey purple. I'm going to choose the indigo blue, which sounds a bit extreme, but in my swatch chart it looks almost purpley. So I think it might just work. There we go. So here it is, indigo blue. And I'm just going to layer it harder around the edge of each berry, and then try and do less towards the centre, so it looks more rounded. I realise I'm quite zoomed out, I'm sorry, but we're going to get back to those mushrooms in a minute. I know I shouldn't be going back and forth, but I don't want to forget these. There we go. I'm also going to use this pencil for the ribbon for our key. Just block it in, it's too fine for anything else. Now on these berries, there are little tiny bits that look like flowers or something. I'm just going to do those, sorry, in the dark green. They might not even show up very well once they're coloured. Oh dear, I stuck my tongue out again. I'm just popping back to my indigo to fill in that bit there. There we go. Okay, let's go back to our mushrooms. Sorry, I jumped around a little bit. Now I usually like a mushroom stem to be a warm brown. I feel it works better, but because these are blue, I think a cold grey, so not a warm brown, a warm grey. I think a cold grey will be better. Now, because I made this mistake here, I need something that's going to cover that. So I can't use a really pale colour. So I'm going to grab the grey, which is our darkest grey that isn't too dark, that isn't too light. Makes so much sense in my head anyway. So here is the grey, and we're just going to try and go over the top of this, like that. That's okay. And this one. So I'm just blocking it in with a fair amount of layers, but I'm going to add another colour on, but I think it should be fine with this amount of layers. And even this bit I'm just going to go over. Now, I often do this bit brown, but again it's not going to work with the blue, in my opinion. And you might decide that it works for you. There's a little skirt on that one. Okay, so I'm now going to grab a darker grey. I'm going to use the greyish black, so it's quite a significantly darker grey. We need to be a little bit careful with it because we don't want to make everything really, really dark. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to come in there because I'm doing some bit more fiddly. There we go. So on these two, I'm just going to put this on the edge of the stem in the hope that it makes it look slightly more rounded rather than flat. These are slightly different. I'm going to put a bit around here on the top, and then I'm going to where that line is, I'm just going to go over that line and put a bit, fade it a bit. So hard there and just a bit less along there. So we don't fully cover the lighter grey, we do a little bit, and hopefully it just makes that bit look a little bit more interesting. And then we'll put a bit down the side of each of these stems, so the same here. I'm going to leave that little skirty bit light, just put a bit of darker along the edge there where there'll be some shadow. There we are, quite simple. Now let's have a look at what we've done. We're getting there. Now the border I need to think about, but I've got an idea to keep it quite simple. It's so fiddly. We've got the background. So I'm going to do the little bottles and jars. So I've come out, I should come back in before I finish. Sorry, in and out, make you dizzy. There we go. I was thinking a dark blue might work well. I'm not going to use that indigo though. What do we have? Do we have something in between? Yes, I think the night blue or the ultramarine. I'm going to use the ultramarine. I don't like ultramarine, but I think it will work. So here it is, ultramarine. And I'm going to make them as if they've all got blue glass. So quite dark on the edge, and then sort of fade it in a bit towards the middle so that it's got a bit of what looks like shine in the centre. Just realised there's a bit of house behind there that didn't colour. And this sort of neck bit, it's not the neck, the neck's that bit. I don't know what this is called, the top, I suppose. Do that on these as well. So all our bottles are going to be the same colour, just so they all match. I know they wouldn't be really. Well, who knows? They might be. They are now. There we go. And I'm going to make this jar the same too. I know we've got stuff in it, but that's okay. You can still see it. I'm going to make this a bit darker, as if we're just seeing it through the glass. Right, now we need to do the labels. I'm going to use the bluish grey. Actually, I think I'm going to use the bluish grey for the corks. Changing my mind, and the lid. We use the indigo for the labels, but we use it lightly. Okay, so just put it on gently, like that. There we go. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave that for today. It's a fairly long video, isn't it? I need to think about what I'm doing for the border. I know we haven't quite finished. We've got butterfly and smoke and bits and pieces, but I wanted to have a think about how to make it all fit in together. So I'm still going to think about that. I'm going to go now and leave that for today. So thank you for watching. Let's come right up. There you go. Yeah. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a really super day and happy colouring.